Hey yo, it's Coke Bumaye. I want to send a big shout out to 24/7 Live Culture. Peace and love.
Take his word as wow. As far as music goes,
Well,
he knows.
keep going, you can't stop it cause it hurts. Just do this shit again and don't you stop it till it works. See, it sounds simple, but the mental is the hardest part. See a soft answer, leave you with the harder heart. You fall on it, it hurt you deeper. It hurt your people, you hurt yourself, but who gon' lead us? That's how they eat us.
What it do? This your boy Josh Martin. You're tuning in to another episode of Who's Hot, Who's Next. I'm chilling with my guy Coke Bumaye. Appreciate you for stopping through, bro.
I appreciate you having me, bro.
How did you land on Coke Bumaye?
Well, my mom been calling me Coke since I was born. She just got it from like when I was little to calm me down. You know how kids are ask for candy? I used to ask for like Coca-Cola in my bottle. You know what I'm saying? So she just started calling me Coke, and it turned into like different. And as I started to grow, my friends and everybody from the neighborhood called me Coke also, because I heard her calling me Coke.
Yeah.
I went to my partner's house. I don't know how long ago it was, and man, I was watching this documentary on Ali. And Ali was like running through like the neighborhoods of like Africa somewhere, because he had a big fight that people didn't think he could win. And I started to see, I was captivated by how the people behind him was chanting Ali Bumaye, and it translates into Ali kill him. Ali was like, he didn't really believe he could beat George Foreman either until he started to see how the people started to gather around him and champion him before he even won. He started to feel like he couldn't let them people down.
Right.
You know, so man, they kind of connected with me. They connected it, man. Like, man, when you coming from a certain area and people championing you, they give you the fuel to take it to the next level. So man, I was inspired by this. So I was running through the house and I was telling them, man, I'm gonna be Coke Bumaye. Yeah. I was telling my homeboy, now I'm gonna be Coke Bumaye. You know, you first hear something, you don't got that, you don't feel right when you first hear it. And they was kind of like, I fuck with it a little bit, like, you know, and I just kept with it, man. It felt good to me, and I just ran with it for sure.
So, okay, so you came up with the name before rap, like, how did Coke Bumaye turn into the artist?
Like, I was always rapping. Like, it's not a time in my life I can remember where I wasn't, like, in music. Music has always been intertwined in my life. So, yes, I came up with Coke Bumaye like really like rapping. Like, it was just like, I always been doing this. I don't know when I like started or when it always been a thing. So yeah, like the first tape or something I ever put out, it said Coke Bumaye on there.
That's what's up. Like, how did you get into rap? Like, how did that first tape come about? Like, were you just, you know, freestyling with your partners? Somebody, like, you said somebody championing you, so at an early age did somebody say that guy has it, like he's a rapper?
Yeah, well, yes, my brother used to tell me, like, man, you got something. Yeah. I used to do a lot of freestyle, like battling. I used to like battle a lot. So they just turned into like, man, I didn't hear no beats that I really, you know, that really led me to like, man, I want to tell my story on this. One of our homegirls had got murdered, and when she got murdered, we had kind of like did everything you do to kind of like cover that pain up, you know what I'm saying? Coming from the area we was from, what we was taught to do when you go through something like that, either hide it, do something out of control, whatever. We had did all that, and one day we was just riding around, like right after a funeral, and we started to like kicking some shit on some beats, like, you know what I'm saying, like really expressing ourselves. We ended up going to one of my homeboys' house. We had like a little computer set up, and we kicked some shit over there all night, just really like expressing ourselves in a way like I don't think we never expressed ourselves in that way. We were super vulnerable. Everybody was just kind of like saying how they felt and just kicking shit. So after that night, man, everybody kind of looked at each other like, man, we doing this shit. Like, for real, this feel good to us. It feel like we heard our story, like our story. A lot of times we was making music or listening to music. It was things that was familiar to us, but it wasn't our story. When we got through that night and listened back to what we were saying and what we were doing, it felt like it was ours, because it was. And we didn't want to lose that feeling. Like, even now, I still rap for that to make sure I'm telling the story of the people that I'm around, where I'm from, who we are. So yeah, man, I'm still chasing that feeling right now.
In the music game, like, is there any artists that you know that you took too early?
Yeah, man, I'm from Jackson. So coming up, man, I seen the guys I seen. I heard a lot of guys on the radio for sure, but it's something about being from an area and hearing these guys and being able to see them. So whether it be the David Banners, the Crooked Letters, the Queen Boys, these guys, man, as I got older and started to like really experience them, I started to see their evolution. That inspired me more, like seeing those guys. There was a lot of guys we heard on the radio, and that was powerful too. But it was something about seeing guys from where you from doing something that you feel like was impossible, and seeing them do it, right? So man, I was empowered by it. Like a lot of these guys now that I have, or some of the guys now that I have relationships with, them guys, posters used to be on my wall. Like I was always engulfed in like music with local music though. Like local music really had like took me to another level. So when I would hear Pimp C, and I was a Pimp C fan for sure. When I heard Pimp C on the record with David Banner and the Crooked Letters, that was different for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So these guys that I already had, that I was already into, when I seen them fucking with the guys from the town, that made me. When I seen Juve on the song with the 601 players, I was like, whoa, the 601 players is like, so I was inspired by it. That inspired me as a kid, like seeing them. And then I could like leave my house and go somewhere and see them somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I still got them memories of that. Like that did something for me.
I think we all got them, we call them around here celebrities. I think we all kind of got them Banner stories. Yeah. One of my close friends, he missed the $3 down from Banner.
For sure.
Speaking of Crooked Letters, I used to work with Kaz, real cool with Kaz. Yeah. So that's crazy. Like you speak of collaborations. Like, is there anybody that you would like to work with in music? It could still be the OGs, like
for sure. Like that's what I'm saying. Just understanding that I don't think we give those guys enough credit for like what they carved out. You know what I'm saying? Them guys really took it to a level like you couldn't believe, like a real deal level. For the most part, I love to get on the track with them guys. But me and Banner, that's my guy. Banner my dog, man, a real deal guy. So
I'm curious, right quick. Why would you put Crit in that realm of Mississippi artists? Like, I guess where would he land on, like, not to create a list, because I know those lists be controversial, but how, like, I guess since Crit came later, I guess he kind of in your group kind of artists. Like, like the younger generation will probably look at him like,
it's like the leader, like the guy who really put it down. Yeah, I think, man, coming from Mississippi period and taking it to a certain level, it's just one list.
Right.
Guys, if you take it to that level, bro, you one of them guys.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you get to a point where, so and not to be the way we sing is like this black hole. Like they see us like that, and that's not true, right? Because as long as they get to see us as this black hole, they get to come take whatever they want to take from here and then take it to the mainstream, and nobody will never give us credit, right? So when you going against all that, to take it to, so for Crit to be signed to Def Jam at one point, to be these artists that people get to see on this world stage, to come from here, man, you can't separate them guys by saying who number one, who number two, who all that. They the guys. They just the guys. Like, and I look at Crit the same. I think Crit one of them guys too. Even with Silas, what Silas doing right now is phenomenal. You taking it to a phenomenal level with all the tools that you got right now. He taking it to a phenomenal level, and I think a lot of times that's what we do. We try to separate us from each other. He the best here, or he the best here, or he the best here. Man, you from the town, you from this space, you from Mississippi, bro. You really putting yourself on the line. Man, you one of them guys already. No matter what, you one of them guys already. I think we need to move with that energy. So when we go into these other spaces, they can't separate us because we ain't separating us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I create one of them guys for sure.
Alright, appreciate you for saying that. Like back to you though, back to Coke.
Sure.
I want to know, like, how do you come up for the ideas for your music? Like, I'm just curious because, like, from around the way, they say a lot of your songs, cater to the female listener. So I just want to know, like, how do you once again generate those ideas? Like, how do you get into that space to be able to tell those particular stories?
Oh man, I try to draw out authentic experience. Like I think you could take one relationship and make a whole album about one relationship. Like that's how deep certain universal languages is. Love is a universal language, no matter what. That's why the biggest songs in the world, they love songs. Because we all speak that language at some time. Even if you don't know you speak that language, we speak it. So whether you speak it from the space of I'm hurt and I want to show you that you hurt me, or you speak it from the I'm in love and I want to show you I love you, it's still the same language. So I think, man, when I'm making them type of records, it's important to be authentic, because if you authentic in them spaces, people hear it. They hear like the situations that only a person who been in them situations would know. Yeah. And only a person who done navigated out that situation would know.
Like the studio gangster type thing.
Fake
tough guy,
all
that.
So
you can hear it through the lyrics.
Hear that. You can hear that because if you, whatever guy or whatever type of person you listening to, if you captivated by them, it's because they spoke a language that you understand, right? And when they start speaking a language that you don't understand, you lose them. Or they lose you. So when I'm speaking to, and I don't never just speak to women, I speak from my experience. Women gravitate to that because it's authentic, right? Women gravitate to real shit. Like, it ain't that women like just bottom line. Right. So it's not that I go in and say, man, I'm finna make a song for a woman.
Just being yourself.
I make real shit. Yeah. If you want to get a real woman, do real shit. So when I'm making these records, I just try to make sure that the record authentic. So when a woman or a man hear it, they captivated by it. So I think women like real shit, and I try to present it every time.
What sacrifices did you have to make to get to this level?
Honestly, bro, as I started to be in this space, man, I think a lot of this shit is romantic. That artists, like, of course you're gonna make certain sacrifices for sure, but man, the biggest sacrifice you're gonna make in this shit, I think, is sacrificing who you used to be for who you trying to become. Like, that's your biggest sacrifice. That other shit,
that's deep.
No, but I'm telling you, like, that's real. Like, the truest sacrifice, the sacrifice you're gonna really have to make, the real battle, is looking at who you are and having to sacrifice that person and all that come with that person for who you trying to become and all that come with it. And that's where you see people have them glitches in. That's what we had the glitches in, where people see you as, whether they see you as a guy from the streets, who a street guy who do certain things and show up certain ways, and you say, man, I don't want to do that no more because it's another level I'm trying to get to. You got to sacrifice those guys who see you like that, those people, those women who see you like that, right? To be this refined guy who you say, man, this make me feel happier. I feel more at peace with this person. That's the sacrifice you're going to have to make. So for me, man, the sacrifices I had to make was understanding who I wanted to become, right? And all I would have to lose to become that person, right? So whether that be people that you might think are your friends, whether there may be spaces that you think like you owe this space some, people you think you owe something to, all it, you gotta like let that shit go.
Being loyal for no reason.
All it. Because like, even them people, man, like the best thing you could do for them people is become who you trying to become. Because they let them know, oh shit, I could do that shit too. Now everybody ain't gonna catch on to it, but there's some people who is gonna catch on to it. So when we be talking about sacrifices and we turn it into the nights in the studio, that shit, like, and it's cool, that's a sacrifice too, but that really ain't nothing when it's compared to like
that you really gotta do to become who you trying to be.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the way your mama see you, I'm talking about people that done put you in a space that they think you'll forever be there. And it's by default. They ain't trying to be disrespectful or harmful. They just do that because they so used to seeing you. That's like tomorrow, if you decide you want to be an astronaut. So you gonna run into some niggas that's like, bro, you tripping.
Right.
You tripping. You are a journalist. You are a blog. Like, they gonna tell you what you is. It's not that they trying to shit on you. They really trying to protect you, right? But they protecting you with their fear for the shit that they couldn't do. You understand what I'm saying? So like, man, you gotta sacrifice that. Nigga, your mama ain't gonna see you the same way. Your brother, your cousin, somebody ain't gonna see you the same way because you made a decision for your own peace. That's a real sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like this, and that's not necessarily my experience with my mama, my brother. I'm just saying, like, you're gonna have to sacrifice people seeing you as the old you, right? And handling you like the old you. You're gonna have to tell them over and over, man, don't play with me like that. I'm not that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. You feel me? When you were one of them guys who would shoot a nigga house up, you don't want to do that no more. Right. Niggas gonna think you weak. They gonna think you ain't. But you see yourself as a guy who buy houses now. You build houses now. You're an architect now. I used to shoot houses up. Now I'm an architect. Right? Look at how far you see that gap right there? Yeah. That's the sacrifice. Because the people who see you as shooting that house up, they ain't gonna be able to see you as an architect. And if the people who are architects may not be able to see you as an architect because they know you used to shoot houses up, trying to change that is a sacrifice.
You get devoured cause the power's in togetherness. And you's a product of your residence where hating is an epidemic. You ain't never finished. The winner circle and they hurt you, they ain't let you in it. You was stained by the game and they ain't let you win it. You gotta take this shit and still represent it.